That would be ideal, Jenny.
Okay, so let's find out what the three topics are that are trending this morning on Breakfast Television. Of course, we've been on since 5:30 in the morning, so here you go.
Yeah, we had a lot going on this morning. We had 3 screens going at one point. But yeah, we're talking about the BT Frost Watch. Frank was asking people, everybody's talking about the weather. I woke up on my walk in today. It was like, geez, it's cold out. It was like 6 degrees earlier this morning. So people were sending us pictures of what it was like where they were. And this is one that Kevin sent us. See the frost on the cars in Listowel?
Listowel,
yeah. There it is right there. And you can see that. Moving over now, Kim Tompkins. It's a little frosty up here in Coldwater.
Yikes.
That's why they call it cold water.
Yeah, it's not warm water.
The water is
Look at this, actually on the grass there. Yeah, and back and forth of Little Britain.
Susan sends us a picture from Little Britain.
You can see it on the rooftops there, yeah.
Tis the season. It is October 1st, my friends. It's October 1st.
Yeah, and one more frost up here in Bracebridge. So all over the province feeling the cold this morning.
It's coming in, you know, like you said. We've had like 4 seasons in 1 week.
I know. Well, that's the thing. That's when people get sick.
Like this week, last weekend was gorgeous. It was like it was like in the 20s, and now it's
sweltering.
Like, in the low 10s. Now we're also talking about Uber, #Uber. Mike Dancy chiming in on that Uber conversation. Of course, the city requesting that Uber comply with new regulations that they're going to put in place. Mike Dancy saying, regulating is better than banning, I guess. I prefer Uber to cab companies personally. A lot of people saying that they need to catch up with the time.
Yeah, and I've been arguing back and forth with people on Twitter saying, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. These cabbies or these Uber people are fully insured. You know what? More and more insurance spokespeople are saying, no, they're not. And as long as there's any gray area for insurance companies, they're not going to pay up because insurance companies look for reasons not to pay. And so we had that accident this morning. You've got 2 passengers involved. You've got 2 drivers. You've got 2 vehicles, 2 private vehicles. And yet an insurance company is going to look at that and say, oh, wait a minute, do you have a commercial license?
And if you look at the numbers, my Royal cab driver this morning, Richard, 8 years he's been driving me, he said now there's 15,000 Uber drivers versus 5,000 regulated cab drivers altogether with all of the different cab companies out there. And so they make up the bulk of how people are getting around.
And don't get me wrong, I actually love Uber. I embrace it. I wish it would come in. It just needs to be regulated.
And the numbers are there to say that Uber is popular. Customers say they want it. And ultimately, you know, the regulation, the industry, and the insurance bit has to be figured out, but customers want the modern day technology. Now, the last thing we're talking about is Thanksgiving. We had Marilyn on BT Extra, which saw a lot of questions, and we were talking about you know, what people were doing this Thanksgiving. We have a list on our website, breakfasttelevision.ca, the top places to go apple picking in Ontario.
Love it.
So I'll scroll through, and you can kind of go online and take a look. We've kind of picked places all over Ontario.
It's great for the kids too to get outside.
Exactly.
And if you don't want to go apple picking, you go to these places, you buy the apples and homemade apple pies.
I know you buy their pies and their jams and their preserves.
Grandma, who's the one up on Georgian Bay near Thornbury? Grandma, somebody help me. Help me during the break, and I'll tell you where it is. That's my absolute all-time favorite. We stop there every year. Yeah. We're going to take a break. Coming up, why Kate Winslet keeps her Academy Award in the bathroom.
Breakfast Television is brought to you by Leon's. For furniture, mattresses, appliances, and TVs, you'll find your style at Leon's or leons.ca.